Okay, force test, take 2. The unit of force in the metric system is a Newton. This was on your notes, so you should be all getting number 1 right. A push or a pull. This was also in your notes. This is a force. The forces that attract all matter to the center of the earth is gravity. That was also in your notes. As you travel to the moon, your mass will stay the same. Mass is the amount of matter in an object. Weight is the pull of gravity. So weight will change, not your mass. The sun has more gravitational force because the sun has a greater mass. Anything that has a greater mass has a greater gravitational pull. The force contained in the center of an atom, well, in the center of the atom is a nucleus. So the nucleus must have a nuclear force to keep all those protons together. The force that slows down a sliding object is friction because friction opposes motion. What type of floor surface will generate the most friction? Rubber. Remember the lab we did? It required more force to pull the rubber, the block across the rubber mat. Compared to rolling friction, sliding friction is usually greater, so it takes more force to slide something than it does to roll something. Number 10, 2 north poles of magnets will repel. 2 poles that are the same will repel because likes are not attracted to each other. Likes repel. These objects are attracted to a metal, nail, paperclip, and iron filings because they're all made of magnetic metals. Some of you got it wrong, put gold. Gold is not magnetic. When you cut a magnet in half, remember the lab that we did? When you cut the magnet in half, it results with 2 magnets now. Each of them have their own north and south pole. The magnetic field of a magnet, well, it doesn't attract everything. It only attracts some metals. And those some metals are iron, nickel, and cobalt. The rest of the metals are not magnetic. What happens if you heat or drop a magnet? It loses some of its magnetism. Some of the magnetism, it gets weaker. It loses its magnetism. It becomes a weaker magnet, and it could lose all of its magnetism if you heat it up too much. The magnetic field of a magnet is strongest near the poles. Remember that lab that we did? These all come from the labs. A magnet which is produced by an electric current is called an electromagnet. Again, another lab. The diagram below shows a horseshoe magnet. Where are the poles located? Horseshoe magnets have poles located on the ends, A and D. This is also from the notes or from your lab. The diagram below shows 2 different bars of metals. The magnetic strip that's magnetic is the one where all the domains are facing the same way in letter B. Look at the questions 19 through 20 by looking at the diagram. The pair of magnets will attract one each other, so opposites attract. Attract, attract, repel, repel. The ones attract each other are A and D. A and D. Magnets will attract each other are B and D, sorry. B and D. The pair of magnets that repel each other are A and C. Opposites attract, likes repel. All right, this one was tricky. A lot of you got this one wrong. The Earth's geographic poles. Well, here's the big fat magnet. And south pole is really here. North pole is really here. The compass is going to face B because that's the north. So that will point to B. All compasses point north because it really points to the South Pole. But the geographic poles are slightly tilted over. This was also from your notes. Geographic poles are A and D. All right, the diagram below shows magnetic fields around the bars. A and B have to be alike, but B and C have to be, A and B have to be unalike because they're attracted, but B and C have to be alike because they are repelling. So both of the poles in B and C are the same. They are alike. All the poles are the same. B and C indicate the poles are the same. What is the purpose of oil? Well, we use the oil so we can reduce friction. It's a lubricant. Number 25, static is formed. Well, static is electricity that's not moving. How do you get static? You get the static because 2 things will rub against each other and you will remove the electrons. So static is formed because of friction. An electric current. Right here, the word electric means that electrons are flowing. Neutrons and protons cannot flow. And an electric current can only allow electrons to flow through it if it's closed. Open circuit will not let it go through. And the parallel and the series circuit, well, they have to be closed in order to let the electrons flow through it. Otherwise, that won't work either. Plastic is used to coat electrical wires because plastic is an insulator. Insulators prevent heat or electricity from flowing through them. Good conductors allow the electricity or the heat to flow through them. They move things easily. Conduction needs direct contact. And finally, this circuit is an example of a series circuit. Why is it a series circuit? Because it only has one path. The loads are the things that we're going to give the power to. The lights are the loads. How many loads are here? 2. And which part of the circuit is the source? This letter C is the battery, and that is the source. This concludes test corrections for your forces test. Make sure you have good answers. Not one word. You need to have complete sentences. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.